What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. We have another free pick breakdown for you guys for Monday Night Football. My computer is lagging a little bit. I have a bunch of tabs pulled up, a bunch of stuff I want to get to in this game. So it's going to be a bit of a longer video. It is currently 4 a.m. Eastern Time on October 7th, Monday, October 7th. I am on a flight out of here at 8 a.m. Once again, Tampa is getting hit with another hurricane, Hurricane Milton. So I got some time on my hands before my flight. Figured I'd give you guys a free pick breakdown. I guess that's the trade-off of living in Florida, is you got to deal with the bullshit hurricanes coming in every other weekend. But we are going to give you guys this free pick here between the Chiefs and the Saints. Also, if you haven't noticed, we have switched our service provider over from WAP.com to Winnable.com. So if you want to get all of our plays, top link in bio as always. We've switched over our service providers because it allows us to directly text you guys the plays every single day. No need for another website, no need for another app. It is very straightforward. You can text the plays right to you, or you still have the option of joining the Discord and getting all of our plays there. Along with that, we have also introduced a free trial. So a free day or up to a free 3 days directly through the Winnable link. So go utilize that. Go get 3 free days. When you're ready to sign up, use the code WIN25 for our top 2 packages and WIN45 for our last 2 packages. Looking forward to having you guys in there. Football's been on a roll. We're coming off a 13.5 unit day in college football Saturday and a slight winning day here, a 3 unit day on Sunday. So we're going to keep the momentum rolling. We're going to get into this free pick, and this is a spot I absolutely love. This is one of my favorite primetime games of the entire year. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I can't wait to watch it, and there's a clear side that I really, really like. Oftentimes in these primetime games, you got to look a little more in depth to find an angle to attack, whether that's a total, whether that's a side, a prop, a team total. But this one has stood out to me since last week, and I actually sent this play out to all of our premium members about 8 days ago. So I sent this out last Sunday to all of our premium members because I loved it so much, and we ended up beating the line. But without further ado, your free pick is going to be the Saints plus 5.5. That is where the line currently is. But once again, premium got it all the way at 6.5. So if you're looking to get the lines early, beat lines, shop lines, get everything early, hop into premium. It's a huge perk. We send out our NFL bets like a week in advance. We send out our college football bets like a week in advance, and we beat the crap out of the closing lines. That is one of the best parts of premium, so hop in there. But the official free pick is going to be the Saints plus 5.5, and we'll get into it just a little bit here. So we'll skip this part here, and we'll go into the schedule. So both of these teams have had interesting starts to the season, right? The Chiefs are undefeated. No surprise there. They're my pick to win the Super Bowl. I never bet against Patrick Mahomes. Usually, I should say. Usually don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. He's had bad teams in the past. He's had poor weapons, and he still finds a way to get it done. But as we can see, the first few games of the season for Patrick Mahomes have all been one-score victories. As we can see against the Ravens, the Bengals, the Falcons, and the Chargers have all been one-score victories. And the scores don't really tell the full story, right? They were down 10-0 to the Chargers. They came back. They fought their way back. And they ended up getting the game winning touchdown there at the end. Same with the Falcons. They got him on a stop on 4th and 1. They don't make that play, they probably don't win the game. And you know, it's all hypotheticals, right? But diving into the actual matchups and how these games actually played out can get you a feel for how the teams have actually looked despite the scoring lines. Same thing with the Bengals, right? Walk-off field goal from Harrison Butker after an offensive pass interference penalty won them the game, right? It's been very specific plays for the Chiefs that have gotten the job done. Now, credit to the Chiefs. They're a good team. They've been battling, but they're not blowing teams out, and their metrics are not super surprising. They're not, excelling all of their metrics. They're not playing really well in one facet of the game that is leading to those victories. These victories have been close, and oftentimes they have come down to one play. Now, the flip side of this is the Saints, right? Similar story with the Saints. However, they're not getting the job done at the end. They just got walked off to their rivals, the Falcons, on a 58-yard field goal, right? Younghoe Koo missed 2 field goals last week, but he made a 58-yarder to win the game against the Saints. That was a rivalry game. They lose on that one play, right? Same with the Eagles and the Saints. Eagles battle all the way back. They got the job done. 1 or 2 key plays there, some deep passes, questionable penalties. The Saints might walk away with the victory. So it's these teams are very similar, and it's important to diagnose the games and how they actually played out. Now, if we get into a little bit of the injury report here, nothing too concerning on the Chiefs side of the ball that's providing a significant edge. However, there is one injury that I do want to take a look at. Now, most of these guys are going to end up playing, as we can see, full practice participants. However, Nick Bolton is their stud middle linebacker. He's their run stopper. He's a very good screen protector. So he's very good at assessing screens and being able to limit screens, which is what the Saints do very well. However, he's been battling a hamstring injury for now 2 weeks. It hasn't prohibited him from playing, but it will slow him down and it will make him less agile, which is going to be very important because Alvin Kamara is going to be the X factor for the Saints. He has to be able to run the ball effectively, and he has to be able to gain positive yardage, if not explosive play yardage, on screen passes. And we'll go over here to my write-up. If you look at the write-up here, I do a write-up for most of these games. As we can see here, the Saints, their primary offensive weapon has been the screen pass, right? And especially with Derek Carr getting a ton of heavy pressure, his O-line hasn't looked great, and Chris Jones is going to be a wrecking force for this Chiefs defensive front. He's going to have to make quick decisions. So he's going to have to hit shallow crossers. He's going to have to set up screen plays, and this is going to be really, really big. As we can see in the write-up, it says the greatest strategy for stopping an edge rusher is to hit screen passes, of which Alvin Kamara is arguably one of the league's best. This plays into that Nick Bolton injury there. Also, Patrick Mahomes gives the impression that they have a potent attack, but the numbers don't support this. The Chiefs are 14th in scoring, while the Saints actually own the best scoring attack in the league. In terms of EPA as well, the Chiefs are bottom third percentile. And the Saints, they have looked much, much better. Now, once again, the Saints' best weapon on defense is going to be their edge and their ability to force pressure on Derek Carr. However, Derek Carr is actually top 3 in terms of assertiveness and in terms of decision-making in the NFL, meaning when he gets pressured, he doesn't turn the ball over, he doesn't make stupid mistakes, and he progresses through his reads very quickly, which is going to be the key against a potent Kansas City defense that will force pressure against Derek Carr. Also, the Saints have scored 40 points or more in each of their opening 2 games. This Kansas City defense will not be able to hold them down. Their offense should be able to exploit them, get chunk plays, and ultimately have more time of possession, which is something that we want to see go in the Saints' favor. Now, this is all credit to Action Network. They do a really good job with this article every week, and they have something called luck rankings. And luck rankings meaning if a team is ahead and they are favored to win the game by, minus 800, minus 700, whatever, in the third quarter, and they end up losing for a number of reasons, that team is considered to be a little bit lucky in terms of a metrical standpoint. We talk about the law of averages, and everything comes back to the average, right? So Action Network ranks these teams in terms of how much they're over-exceeding expectations, if they're favored to win games and then they end up losing, or if they're favored to lose games and they end up winning due to what we call lucky plays. And as we've seen, the Chiefs and the Saints, a lot of these games have come down to one play, maybe 2 or 3 plays, and how lucky are each team in that specific play going their way. So we'll get into this. Also, shout out Anders Picks. He did a really good job on this. I got this idea from him, so we're going to dive into it a little bit. As we can see, the Chiefs are the second luckiest team in the NFL with a 36.84% luck factor. Now, this means they should regress in terms of a metrical standpoint. If we go all the way down here to the Saints, it is the exact opposite. They are 30th in the NFL in terms of luck with a negative 29.97%. Now, this is a combination of factors, but as we can see, the Chiefs fall from actually the top spot. They were the luckiest team in the NFL heading into this week, but they got a bit unlucky against the Chargers. Kansas City's 17-0 win should have been 21-7 based on the expected scores, making it the unlucky team in this game for the first time this season. The Chiefs still have been one of the luckier teams this season, although their luck percentage has fallen from a peak of nearly 57%. Now it's down to 36.9. That means 57% of stuff is going their way that should not have gone their way, which is absolutely insane. Really, absolutely insane. Now we dive into the unluckiest teams. Fun fact, New Orleans Saints. If you use the Pythagorean expectation model, something a little bit more advanced that I'll go into on a YouTube video, which is really important for NFL actually. But we do that with expected scoring. The Saints have the most expected wins on the season, and they're just 2-2. Though, after a tough loss to the division rival Falcons, we talked about them getting walked off. Atlanta benefited from a muffed punt touchdown, a pick six, and the Saints' inability to punch it in late in the fourth quarter after a first and goal situation at the 5-yard line. Falcons kicker, we just talked about this, Younghoe Koo also made 4 field goals from at least 42 yards out, including 2 from 53 and a 58er. That 100% rate also comes in over expectation for Atlanta. Now, we'll get back into the metrics here. and we'll take a look at actually how these two teams face up against each other. I had to get a little sip of water there. I got to do these in one take. But we look at key offensive stats. Look at that. The Saints are leading every single key offensive metric. Points per game, points per play, average scoring margin, yards per game, yards per play, and time of possession, which will be a big thing in this game. We look at key defensive stats. Saints are leading the majority of those categories too, right? They're better at opponent points per play. They're better at opponent points per game. They're better at takeaways per game. Forcing short field against the Chiefs is something you have to do to keep games close, and they're better in a turnover margin. So they're forcing more turnovers, and they're allowing less turnovers, which is going to be a big thing against the Chiefs here. And last but not least, we will dive into an early road dog trend. Now, this trend fits the Saints against the Chiefs, and the criteria for this trend is the team is an underdog with a spread that's less than 7. The over-under is set at 41 or greater. The team is away. The season is 2018 up to the present season, and the season of the week is less than 8. So we're only in week 5. And then we'll go down here, take a look at these numbers, right? 56.3 units since 2018, blindly betting the system. That is good for an 163 and 97 record against the spread, a win percentage of almost 63%, and an ROI of 20%. Now, given it's only been 6 years, this sample size in terms of trends is actually shorter, but this is an undeniable trend. This holds significant weight, and the average $100 better is up $5,630 since 2019. So, a few good trends on the Saints, a few good metrics. They've been unlucky. They should be able to keep this one close, keep Patrick Mahomes in check, force more turnovers, have more time possession, and ultimately, maybe even win the game. Hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. We will see you in the next one. Best of luck as always. Peace.